अभी 1:30 बजे हैं, बस 1:30 तक आएंगे तो हम लोग अभी यहाँ पे बैठे हैं, रेस्ट कर रहे हैं क्योंकि बाहर बहुत विंड है, बहुत ठंड है। तो अभी हम लोग उन्होंने हमें लॉलीपॉप दिया कि आप लॉलीपॉप चूसो, तो मैं और मम्मी लॉलीपॉप चूस रहे थे अभी क्योंकि टाइम बाकी है तो लॉलीपॉप चूस रहे हैं। सो फ्रेंड्स, यहाँ पे देखिए ये 1683 से लेके पूरी हिस्ट्री इन्होंने क्रिएट किया है। 1996 इन्होंने डेवलप किया, 1996 से डेवलपिंग हुआ इसका, और 2010 और 2013 तक अभी तक का ये इन्होंने वैसा का वैसा ही रखा है, अभी कोई इसमें चेंज नहीं हुआ, तो अभी जो है वही है।
फ्रेंड्स, ये पूरा इंफॉर्मेशन सेंटर है। आप यहाँ से कहाँ कहाँ घूमना है, कहाँ जाना है, यहाँ पे सराउंडिंग में कौन सी जगह है घूमने के लायक है और कितनी दूरी पर है, वो सब कुछ आपको इधर इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल जाती है। और आप ये स्क्रीन से आपके मोबाइल में डायरेक्टली मैसेज के द्वारा भी आप उसमें ट्रांसफ़र कर सकते हैं उसका मैप वगैरह। तो देखो अच्छी यहाँ पे सुविधा है, तो ये बहुत अच्छा है।
Let's go.
Pick your seats.
हम लोग जा रहे हैं, चल। Hi, how are you?
Can I sit here? Yep, you can sit anywhere.
This side. You can sit here. बस में बैठ चुके हैं।
Driver Ted. He is in charge of driving us everywhere we need to be in a safe manner. So, I'm gonna put this out there. I have two playlists I could play today. I have my normal historic one, or I have the Halloween one. Hello, I'd like to start out by seeing where people are from. So, is anybody from out of state? That is a lot. Okay, where are you guys from? Florida. New Jersey. New York? Maine? Okay. Did I miss anybody?
New Jersey.
New York? Georgia?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay, so we have people from all over today. That's a lot of fun. So I'm also going to guess this is a lot of your first time in town. And they have a lot of fun drinks you can try out. I hear the stuff with the peach vodka is really good there. But next to it, we have the Asa Packer Mansion. And that is the one with the red roof. Now, Asa Packer was Harry Packer's father, and he was one of the millionaires in the area. And so there was an ice room that was connected to the house via a tunnel, and they would filter the cool air throughout the house to cool it down during the summer months. Right now, though, we are getting ready to head over to the Jim Thorpe Memorial, and that is over on East Mock Chunk. The side we are on right now is known as West Mock Chunk, and it was primarily Irish. They would work in the coal mines. Over on the east side, it was primarily German, and they would work on the railroads. And Native Americans weren't even viewed as citizens, much less as people at the time. And so oftentimes, Native Americans were sent to these things known as Indian schools. And basically, these schools' job was to assimilate them into our society. And what this meant was, hey, leave behind your culture and what you know, and you're going to come here and do things our way now. And I bring this up because I have been asked before, our society meant that they were forced to cut their hair. He would go on to become one of the most amazing Thorpe. It probably is Jim Thorpe. Now, if you would all take a look out to your right, you will see a lightning bolt. And you might be wondering, why am I looking at it and what is it? And it was exhausting having to lug tons of things up and down the mountain every single day. I mean, it was exhausting. And so people had to come up with a solution for this. And thinking, what if we put the mules on the carts and send them down that way? Yes, Niagara Falls. We were second in the nation only to Niagara Falls. Now, as we go through here, keep an eye out because you never know to go around and walk around in, but they ended up having to gate it off a few years back. And this is for two reasons. One, it is really dark in there. And two, you will be able to see the pillars in the water of where the railroad used to be. And if you look all the way to your right and back, you will be able to see the hole that the trains would come out of at the time. And don't worry, if you want any pictures of it, we will be coming back over the bridge and that will give you a better view to get one then. But down there we have a little beach area. I wanted to convince my one coworker to stand out here in one of those inflatable dinosaur costumes for today while I play that, but he said no and I couldn't get him to, so we're missing that out. But this parking lot will actually see about 8,000 to 10,000 people a week, depending on
You're going too fast.
I think that's the park ranger about to get behind us as well right now. But if you are Princess Anoko, you will climb to the top of the waterfalls that are hidden behind the trees here and throw yourself off. Yeah, guys, it's Romeo and Juliet. It's never a good ending. But this actually used to be a hiking trails that you could go out and hike, but they ended up having to close it down due to a big strain on our first responders. There were 7 fatalities that happened there. And 1 dog death. Wires. And there was a group over in Ireland named after an Irish widow that was fighting for something similar. And so when the group formed here, they adopted the name over. And you know, when you're fighting for better conditions, you're gonna get into some trouble, right? I mean, like stealing, breaking of equipment, the occasional murder. Don't worry, they were very nice about it though. They would actually leave you a note with the time, place, and grade 10. And Madeline was so distraught over this that she hung herself in her room. Yeah, so now she haunts the inn. So you might see her tonight. Over here we have the House of Jerky, and they have a lot of cool different exotic flavors. But it also used to be the town funeral home. So go in. I hear the bombing flavors are to die for there. Coming up on our left, there is a building with white pillars. And this is the Y on Broadway. And it happens to be one of the nation's first YMCAs. Hey, remember when I said this was an interactive tour? Trial happened, and that was just too small, so they needed to upsize, leaving us with the third one you see here today. But you know, when she was getting a little bored in her marriage, and so she was gonna take on a lover, and they were gonna meet up at night to have a bit of a rendezvous, and their plan was to get adjoining rooms. Well, the innkeeper was a bit bad at his job, and he ended up putting Madeline in 211 and her lover in 310. And Madeline was so distraught over this that she hung herself in her room. Yeah, so now she haunts the inn. So you might see her tonight. Over here we have the House of Jerky, and they have a lot of cool different exotic flavors. But it also used to be the town funeral home. So go in. I hear they want. Back, and the warden's daughter would actually get her wedding clothes, as it is big enough to do so. But I know some people don't like being out on the water all day, or they get seasickness. So in that case, we do have a beach back there, and that entire area is over. A baseball diamond and a horseshoe area. We have pavilions that you can rent out for family gatherings and picnic tables where you can come out. It looks very old, right? A little creepy. And so I'm gonna start with the scariest fact about it, in my opinion. And that is, it was an active jail until 1995. Wow. Eminem was on the radio back then. And this is where the Molly McGuires were sent to hang. And your tour guide. This was our driver, Ted.
तो फ्रेंड्स, अभी हमारा टूर, बस टूर भी ख़त्म हो गया, ट्रेन टूर भी ख़त्म हो गया, और यहाँ पे ठंडी बहुत बढ़ गई है। तो अभी हम लोग हमारे चल के गाड़ी तक जा रहे हैं अभी। फिर भूख भी लगी है, तो कुछ खाना भी है, तो फाइंड आउट करते हैं क्या मिलेगा। देखते हैं क्या मिलता है आगे। यहाँ पे ठंड बहुत भूख भी लगी है। और ये ट्रेन निकलने वाली है अभी। ये ट्रेन वापस निकलने वाली है। देखिए मम्मी और चेतन। तो हम लोग अभी जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि देखिए वेदर यहाँ का बहुत ठंडा है, क्योंकि कल बहुत बारिश थी। हम लोग कल ही आने वाले थे, बट कल बहुत बारिश थी और आज भी बारिश, अभी ड्रिजलिंग चालू है और बहुत ठंड लग रही है और भूख भी बहुत लगी। और मेरी फेवरेट कार यहाँ पे खड़ी है, देखो मैं आपको दिखाती हूँ। ये गाड़ी है ना, मुझे बहुत पसंद है, क्योंकि इसलिए कि आप लोगों ने अगर मेरा म्यूज़ियम वाला वो ब्लॉग देखा है तो उसमें देखा इसको मॉडिफाइड करके उसका बॉडी वुडन में बनाया है। तो वो इतनी खूबसूरत लग रही थी ना, तो वो मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगती है। तो होप कि आपको भी अच्छा लगा होगा मैंने जितना भी घुमाया। तो अभी चलते हैं आगे, देखते हैं। चलिए हमारे साथ। ट्रेन आ रही है। फाइनली हम लोग घर आ चुके हैं और बाहर वेदर बहुत ठंडा हो गया है। तो रास्ते में बस वो पिज़्ज़ा खाने रुके, फिर वापस डायरेक्ट हम लोग घर आ गए, कहीं पे रुके नहीं थे और अभी आ गए घर। तो होप कि आप सबको मेरा ये नया वीडियो, नया व्लॉग अच्छा लगेगा। शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलना और सपोर्ट जरूर कर। चेतन भी आ गया है तो सो गुड नाइट, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय माता जी, से बाय टू एवरीवन,
बाय, गुड नाइट।
इसको देखो और हमारे व्लॉग को सपोर्ट करते रहना, लाइक करना, शेयर करना मत भूलना।
हमारे चैनल को सपोर्ट करते रहना, लाइक करना, सब्सक्राइब करना और शेयर भी करना।
तो बाय, लव यू ऑल, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय माता जी।